3. Arts in Humanistic Buddhism. The archetype of Buddhist art would be the Ajanta caves in India. In China, it took shape in the form of architecture, carvings, paintings and calligraphy. Many examples of Buddhist art remaining today are considered masterpieces. For example, the UNESCO has listed the Dunhuang, Yungang, and Longmen caves as cultural heritages. These caves are said to be the greatest natural museums of Oriental Buddhist art. In the past, Buddhist temples seldom promoted Buddhist art. Yet, in their talks on daily living, life, and the universe, mentions of aesthetic beauty are noticeable. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from the universe's 3,000 great chiliocosms has inspired magnificent pieces of thousand Buddha caves in China. In the Buddhacarita, stories of the Buddha's life were written in a beautiful poetic style, which consequently inspired Buddhist hymn and chanting in China. In the Vimalakirti Sutra, the witty dialogues between the Celestial Lady, Vimalakirti and Sariputra shape classic dramas and dances such as the Celestial Rain of Flowers. The depiction of the Pure Land in the Amitabha Sutra was the basis for its majestic illustrations. On other sutras, in fact, is the beauty in this world not a manifestation of the Pure Land itself? The paintings in the Dunhuang caves that combine Chinese, Indian, and ancient Western region cultures have inspired the world-renowned Dunhuang dance. These are not merely means of propagation used by past Buddhist masters, but also priceless modern assets of the Dharma. Such masterpieces showcase Chinese culture and Buddhism to the world. These honorable Buddhist masters had dedicated their lives to Buddhism, and enabled the dissemination of the essence of Chinese culture and Buddhism. How can we not be grateful and value the scope of Buddhist art? Just as our beauty is found in our character and wisdom, the greatness of a country resides within its culture and art. What people admire today at the Great British Museum, the Louvre, and the Art Institute of Chicago are collections of Chinese art and culture that have gained prominence amongst the originally dominant Western collections. As much as we may regret the loss of such Chinese treasures, it probably has been for the best. During the course of China's countless periods of war and chaos, doubtless many of these artifacts would have been either damaged or destroyed. In the end, these countries aid us not only in preserving Chinese culture, but also in showcasing it to the world. 1. Rock carvings and paintings. From the beginning, Buddhism already exerted tremendous influence on Chinese art and culture. The statues, paintings, manuscripts and texts found in the Dunhuang caves eclipse the discovery of Qin Shi Huang's terracotta army. Some universities have even listed Dunhuang studies as the focus of their professional research programs. For over 1,000 years, rulers, ministers, Buddhists, devotees and common people have regarded the Dunhuang caves as the greatest treasure of the world. Even the splendor of the Ajanta caves in India pales in comparison. It is certainly a miracle for these vivid statues, extraordinarily beautiful reliefs, and carvings of Buddhist sutras to have survived the flames of war and been well preserved in the remote Gansu province. To date, several hundred professionals at the Dunhuang Museum have taken on the responsibility to preserve, repair and maintain these artistic and cultural treasures, which are certainly not exclusive to just Chinese, but also for the entire world. Other than the Dunhuang caves, the Yungang grottos in Datong, carved by Miao, from the Northern Wei dynasty are also of unparalleled magnificence. The majestic statue of Sakyamuni Buddha is often featured in magazines and other publications. It has been listed as one of the most valuable art pieces in the world. Moving on to the Longmen grottos in Henan, the elegant postures of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas remind us of Tang dynasty ladies whose beauty were revealed in their robust and lush body figures. The most iconic would be Yanggua Fei and Empress Wuzeshan. Sculptures from the period portrayed Buddhas and Bodhisattvas with humanly statures, which is certainly in the spirit of Humanistic Buddhism. The fine carvings and elegant postures displayed by the Buddha and Bodhisattva statues at the Meiji Hsing grottos are simply stunning. The serene and solemn Ding Buddha carvings of the Nirvana of Sakyamuni Buddha are also priceless treasures of Buddhist art. Other cave temples found along the Silk Road are also rich treasuries of carvings and paintings. 2. Calligraphy and painting. The Buddhist influence on Chinese calligraphy is also profound. For example, Wang Zizi's preface to the Orchid Pavilion collection and even Huisu's Diamond Sutra in cursive script are both regarded as rare treasures. In the past, some Buddhist masters did not subsist on farming or chanting. Instead, they were recognized for their paintings and calligraphy, which allowed them to make a living while continuing with spiritual cultivation. 70 years ago, when I studied at Yaoshan Buddhist College, apart from the main shrine, known as Dingyue Temple, there were also dozens of smaller temples, each containing a studio and gallery, allowing collectors to purchase their favorite art pieces. For this reason, Wadao-zi's portrait of Guanyin became a well-thought-of art piece. Other monastic artists such as Bao de Shanren, Shi Tao, Shi Zai, and Han Gran (1610–1664) also exhibited in their works the beauty of painting and elegant writing. These pieces elevated Buddhist calligraphy and art to an even higher level than the palace artists were capable of. In masterpieces such as Along the River during the Qingming festival and Dwelling in the Fuchun Mountains, Buddhist temples and monastics almost always feature in the paintings. This is evidence that artists have a somewhat close affiliation with Buddhism. Although some of these works gradually disappeared over time, some valuable pieces are now part of museum collections around the world. Renowned contemporary artist Zhang Daquan spent almost 3 years at Danhang, copying the various styles of paintings. Others such as Pu Zhenhu created Buddhism-related pieces, all now priceless. Speaking of Zhang Daquan, he once gifted to me his work Lotus, which was auctioned at the Fogang University fundraiser and acquired by the Shu family from the Far Eastern Group. Another of Zhang Daquan's piece, Guanyin Bodhisattva, is still at Fogangshan among dozens of other artifacts. A man once offered to buy it for 50 million Taiwan dollars, but we were unwilling to part with it. 3. Buddhist chanting and singing. Other than tangible creations of Buddhist art, intangible forms are also prized. For example, the Buddhist chanting in Yusheng or Tang Dynasty singing sermons are both unique features of Chinese culture. According to a legend from the Three Kingdoms period, Cao Zijian perceived the sounds of waves and compared them to the sounds of heavenly beings. As a music enthusiast, he composed these heavenly melodies, which later became a Buddhist chant known as Heavenly Song. Buddhist chanting contains the 4 main prayers, and 8 incense praises that include the 6-line verse short prayer incense praise, and 8-line chant 3 jewels praise. The various tunes and intonation are extremely emotive and profoundly beautiful. Regretfully, many such compositions were subsequently destroyed in the Tipping Rebellion, Sino-Japanese War, Civil War, and cultural revolutions. Fortunately, on the verge of being forever lost, some musicians brought them to Taiwan. I then cut recordings and produced cassette tapes in an attempt to preserve the music. Today, they have been retransmitted back to mainland China and can be heard all across the nation. However, as these chants were only transmitted verbally, no music sheets exist. As the handbell and wooden fish were the only instruments available, only single chimes and double strikes were used to remember the following tempo, 3 turns and 9 twists. The 1 strong and 3 weak beats. Those who have heard these traditional Buddhist chanting would praise them as sounds only heard from heaven and extremely rare on earth. Several years ago, Gangshan assembled the Chinese Buddhist music performance group. It performed music from the 4 major Buddhist schools, including the Theravada, Chinese, and Tibetan traditions. The group's world tour gained wide acclaim. In the Dunhuang Caves, singing sermons are preserved in the form of sutra illustrations such as the 8 stages of Buddha's life, the celestial rain of flowers, and Moggallana saves his mother. As times changed, songs replaced these sermons. Gangshan has continued to hold Dharma lectures mingled with Buddhist chanting at the Taipei National Dr. Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall for 30 consecutive years. Likewise at the Hong Kong Coliseum for over 20 years. The propagation of humanistic Buddhism through singing has pervaded all levels of society and should certainly be continued. 4. Sculpture and architecture. Masterpieces of Buddhist architecture and sculpture are numerous. However, it is regretful to see that most of the ancient Buddhist monasteries in mainland China are listed only as tourist attractions. Moreover, by charging admission fees, these temples have become commercial ventures. If only these beautiful palace-style shrines, viharas, pagodas and pavilions were given their original purpose. The supposedly tranquil and serene ambience of Buddhist temples will perhaps be restored. Buddhist architecture in its myriad forms, such as gardens and landscapes, has undoubtedly enriched the splendor of China's natural vistas. Within the Buddha Memorial Center, itself a representation of Gangshan's Buddha gem, is a 108-meter seated bronze Buddha. Flanked by 8 Chinese-style pagodas, the main hall houses a dozen art exhibition spaces. Surrounded by green garden landscape, the center has become a major tourist attraction that is visited by 10 million guests annually. Representing the Sangha gem, Gangshan Monastery is equally a majestic complex that houses a main shrine, Buddhist college, pagodas, and garden landscapes. Embodying the Dharma gem, the Sutra Repository is now close to completion. Its grandeur has already left visitors in awe. These 2 complexes represent major contributions made by both monastics and lay members of Gangshan to humanistic Buddhism. 5. Drama and dance. With regard to Chinese opera, the most famous is the Kunk opera from Kunshan, in Suzhou. Other genres of opera such as the Peking opera and Yu opera branched out from Kunk and developed across China. Kunk had, in fact, originated from the drama The Mirror of Origin, written by Venerable Zhita during the Ming Dynasty, thus sharing a close connection with Buddhism. Many of these dramas reflect the ideals of loyalty and dutifulness in tangible form. They are regarded as the best inspiration for moral ethics next to formal school education. This is one of expedient means used in humanistic Buddhism to spread the Buddha's teachings. For example, the biography of Sakyamuni Buddha has been adapted into musicals, movies, novels, radio shows, and stage plays all across the world. Other stories of loyalty, filial piety, moral integrity, and justice have also been portrayed in Buddhist audio-visual mediums to continue inspiring and purifying the people. At Gangshan, Buddhist choirs are spreading the Dharma in different places around the world. He recently established Buddha's Light Youth Philharmonic Orchestra in Vienna has also been composing and performing Buddhist songs. Of note, artists of the Gangming College Academy of Performing Arts in the Philippines created Siddhartha, the musical. In Malaysia, 8,000 youth once gathered in Malaysia to sing beautiful Buddhist songs, such as I Am the Future of Buddhism. In addition, Dunhuang dance troupes in Taiwan alone numbers 26, all performing on a regular basis. The tremendous influence of Dunhuang dance is thus evident. Furthermore, Disabled People's Performing Art Troupe of China has recently been performing Thousand Hand Guanyin, to great acclaim. 6. Martial arts and chivalry. Shaolin Temple has always been synonymous with martial arts. Legend tells that Bodhidharma, the patriarch of Chan Buddhism, thereby gifting martial arts a place and influence in China, invented the Shaolin technique of combat. The art lies not just within the expression of strength but its spirit and poise. The one-finger Chan and Prajna Palm are among the many kung fu skills that embody profound spiritual cultivation and chivalry. In the past, Shaolin monastics won the hearts of many for being chivalrous. They upheld justice and protected their country. It is hoped that our inheritance of such spirits, as shown by our ancestors, can help us in protecting the people. In brief, Humanistic Buddhism made tremendous contributions to the state, society and the individual. By enriching the spread of Chinese culture, it has made it globally respected. The above-mentioned artistic achievements by humanistic Buddhists are only a small part of a much bigger whole. They have been examined in the hopes of stimulating Chinese culture enriched by Buddhist art. Dedication of merits. May kindness, compassion, joy and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our humility and gratitude give rise to great vows.